All right, it's my pleasure to introduce Alexis Gordon. She's a Langley graduate, noted for her dedication of many years working with the Power to Stay Away. Alexis has worked and dedicated much of her time over the past 5 years teaching youth skills sets to offset bullying in our local schools. Alexis will be a tremendous asset for Cole and Tiffany and other youth voices who join up with us along the way. Alexis is presently studying at the University of Fraser Valley, working towards her Bachelor in Business Administration. All right, come Alexis.
So I'm Alexis Gordon, and first off, I met Yvonne through my mom, and our first event that we ever did together was the main event in Chilliwack, and although I love horses, and I've been asked a couple times tonight, do you ride or do you work with horses, and I said, no, actually, I'm actually really allergic to them. So maybe I'll be doing more of these events, not necessarily with the horses. So again, I'm Alexis Gordon, and I'm talking to you guys about Power to Stay Away, which was created by students for students to empower them through self-esteem, as well as to be able to stand up for themselves and others around them, as well as their peers. So 7 years ago, grade 11 students were coming back from their lunch hour, and they saw a grade 8 boy being beat up by a grade 12 boy, and everyone else stood around on the basketball court and watched. They didn't step in, they just stood there and watched. And they thought, this is horrible, how can this happen? And so they decided to start this group called Power to Stay Away, PSA. They started out by going to the grade 7 classes in Walnut Grove to talk to the students about bullying and peer pressure that you're going to see in high school that they wouldn't see in elementary school. Today, PSA has grown exponentially to starting out with 4 members to now having up to 25 members on some of their meetings, which is awesome. As well, they've been able to talk to the Langley School Board and talk to more students in the Langley School District as well as in Delta. The grade 7s, as they started out with, are still going on 7 years later. They've been able to team up with the Red Cross to do their new presentation, which is doing events and activities in the classroom with them to be able to once again stand up and not just be a bystander that stands there and watches but takes action, steps in. Last year they started the grade 4 presentations because we really saw that it's not just when in high school that you see this bullying happening in grade 7, it's a lot younger, as young as grade 2. So we really wanted to kind of step in at an earlier level and be able to talk to them about not necessarily maybe the peer pressures that they'd have, but just getting along with each other, or that it's okay to be different than your best friend. We've been able to talk to and train grade 6s and 7s in other school districts to speak to grade 2s. The group that we trained was talking to grade 2s, a group of grade 2 girls, that they were bullying each other, and their moms ended up having supermarket fights. They were yelling at each other in the supermarket because one girl said something to another girl. And so we really wanted to be able to step in and kind of empower them to talk to the younger grades, because maybe teachers grade 2s, you're so little, you don't necessarily want to hear your teacher say it, but maybe grade 6s and 7s could maybe step in and have a bigger impact. Our Pink Shirt Day, which was started in Nova Scotia in February of 2007 by, I don't know if many of you guys have heard of it, but it's become a very big event. And PSA was able to adopt this into our school, or their school at Walnut Grove, in 2008. And since then, we've ran with it, and it's gone from just Pink Shirt Day to Pink Shirt Week. And last year, we had amazing success. We've had speakers come. We've had our Inside Out Day, which was based on the television series based out of the United States called If You Really Knew Me, where they run workshops throughout Pink Shirt Week for grade 8s and 9s, grade 10s and 11s, and grade 12s. And they're able to do workshops either half a day or a full day, and really get to know each other on a deeper level. And they start out with just icebreaker games, just to kind of have fun, get to know each other on a shallow level, and then after lunch really get into the deeper level and really see where each person's really coming from and why they act the way they are. And what that maybe you said, oh, that person wasn't having a good day, but maybe they had a really bad day and it's not that kind of day for them. As well, they've had district conferences. They recently, this last year, I wasn't able to be a part of it, but they had a Langley School District Conference, but in the past years, they've talked from grade 4 to grade 12 to students about either starting their own group or about just stepping in and being a bystander that stands up and takes action. They've also talked to the school board each year, and they are fully behind the Langley School Board with funding and support and resources for the Power to Stay Away, which is awesome. It's kind of gotten them to where they are with all their resources that they have today, as well as last year they were part of Christy Clark's Erase Bullying campaign. So with all my experience in the Power to Stay Away, I was more than happy to join Yvonne this past year, to really empower today's youth through the role that horses play in moving past words and really reaching us in the heart and providing healing. Thank you. There's bracelets over there if you guys want them.
Thanks so much, Alexis.